So one of the key things about being independent and not reliant on other institutions and companies, we have our own well source and water purification system. So it starts up here. We've got it looks like a little well. It's not anything other than just a cover for the deep borehole pump. It's 120 meters down, and it's just the source head. It pumps down when this float valve, normally it's supposed to be tied just a little further down here. And as you can see, when I drop the float valve down, turns the pump on, and now we have water flow. And so normally if I've got this strapped to that pipe, the water fills up to a certain height and the float comes down and shuts the pump off. So it's a fully automatic system with a very basic float valve. So this is a 27,000 liter cistern, as they call them here. And while not perfectly pure source at the moment, we do have a water filtration system but just below us in the mechanical room. We can look at that now. So follow me inside here and we can take a look at the water filtration system. All right, so there's a series of 3 pumps that complete the whole system. We already talked about the borehole pump, which is 120 meters down. Now we talked about the cistern up there. When this tank here, 750 liter tank, if it gets low, there's another float valve in here that tells this pump down here to turn on, and it will bring water from the cistern and it'll push it through this filtration system. We have a 5 micron filter in this cartridge. We have an activated carbon filter in this cartridge, and then it comes down to a mineralization filter, which is essentially granite and other rock chips to just put minerals in the water. From there, we go into the 750 liter reservoir. It's just a small reservoir inside here. And we had a little fun one day. We put gratitude, blessings, harmony, love, thanks, just in response to, I can't remember his name, but there's a Japanese scientist who said that if you say these things over your water, it structures it and gives it healing properties. In any event, when you turn a tap on anywhere on the property, this pump will turn on. It's a pressure sensitive pump. So even if you turn it on just a little bit, it just kind of comes on very slowly, or if you just whack two outlets open, it will come on very quickly and drive water through this final stage, which is called, it's a UV light, not a filter as much as it is a bacterial killing lamp. So just using UV light. So that is the final stage of the water system. That just goes out now to both the caravan and any of the taps that we have above the community bathroom and that type of thing. So that is our water system. We're just a little further into the mechanical room here, and this is where we house the solar components. Obviously there's a division between the electrical and the water side. Obviously we don't want to mix them up. But outside you can see there's 40 panels, 40 solar panels on the hillside there. And they are piped down into, they come through a charge controller. All that does is if I've got 1 or 2 of the solar panels in the shade, it will be producing a smaller amount of power than the ones at the other end. So what this controller does is it just equalizes all of the power coming from the panels. And then it goes through an inversion and then into batteries. So we're taking a DC electrical circuit or charge stored in DC, and then it goes to the inverter out to the outlets in alternating current. We have 2 separate electrical systems here. So coming from Canada, Nadine and I have a lot of I have a lot of tools. She has a lot of kitchen gadgets that are 110 volt, 120 volt. And so we needed a fairly unique solution here in Europe. So we have 2 separate systems. We've got a 110 system that comes from a 6,000 watt transformer here. And then we have the other system, which is just 220 based on what's coming out of the solar system. When we finish with the caravan and we actually have a house to live in, we'll pull the other transformer we have in the caravan and bolt it onto the wall here, so that we'll have plenty of capacity for both 220 and 120. We know where we're at with the system through this little computer here at the moment. We've got lots of sun and the batteries are at 100%. We've got 12 lithium ion batteries, and they're doing a really good job for us. And we have had some people living here. I think we had at least, we had 9 or 10 people living on the property at one point. And that does pose a bit more of a challenge for the capacity of the system. We've got more people doing laundry, lights, a little bit of heat from time to time. So that does weigh a bit heavy on the system. Sometimes you get 3 or 4 days in a row where the sun isn't maybe out as much, cloudy days, what have you. And that's when we have the generator come into the play. If it gets below 22%, I believe is the programming, the generator will come on automatically and fill the batteries up to around 30%, and then it'll shut off. So it never lets us get below that threshold, and hopefully we never run out of power. So it's a good system. It's been very reliable, and we're really happy with it.